Whoever you think you are, David Regal is. Today we're going to be taking a look at David Regal's cups and balls. David Regal is the man. If you look at him, he looks like like he sells used cars in somewhere in Buffalo. But no, David Regal is a world-class magician. And as you could see from his cups and balls routine, he really breathes new life into what is an ordinarily mundane, everyone does the same trick. So let's take a look at how he approaches the cups and balls and makes it his own, and I would argue a piece of theater.
The cups and balls. Some people say that trick is thousands of years old, but not to me. I think the cups and balls trick is 25 years old. Because it was about 25 years ago, I walked into Jack and Jill's fun shop as a boy, and that guy behind the counter, you know the guy, kind of old, a little scary, always wore the same shirt.
That guy.
He showed me, Tanya dated him. He showed me the cups and balls. Went, look, you put a little ball there, goes right through. See right through the cups. Here, we'll try it again. And then a little ball, give it a tap. Trap door opens, goes right through. Here, 2 cups, 2 trap doors, goes right through. Thank you. Wow.
Tommy Wonder mentioned it in one of his video projects that when you are introducing the audience to something that is a parody, you have to make them familiar with the original source, in this case with the source material. And I believe that David Regal is about to perform what is a sort of satirical take on the classic cups and balls, and he does this by introducing the audience to what would be the standard cups and balls that most people that are interested in magic would begin with, which is one of these shitty, crummy, Chinese manufactured, I'm sure you're getting some form of cancer with these plastic cups and balls. This is a novel approach to the classic plot, as well as a nice experiment for you to do on your own, which is take what is ordinarily a kid's variation of a trick or a very beginner-friendly take on a trick and see if you could actually make it something that's worthy to present to a normal audience. I'm constantly surprised by the amount of gold that I find in beginner's magic books, as well as books dedicated to the young elementary magician in mind. And you'd be surprised as to the mentalism content even that you could find in these books that people just dismiss. They dismiss because they don't think they'll work for a real life audience. Whereas here, David Regal finds a way to do this for a real life audience, and he's going to manage to have a callback later on in the routine that is really, really astonishing. Bill Malone also has a routine using similar cups, and I think it's a wonderful take on the classic.
I like that trick, and I bought it, took it home, ran upstairs to the bathroom, closed the door, and I stayed there in the bathroom with the cups and balls for about 6 months. Just making that little ball go through the cups one after another. It was fun. Of course, there weren't really trapdoors in the cups. If there were, the trick probably would have cost more than a buck. But thank you.
That's good.
Watching David Regal perform is a masterclass on theater. In this case, you notice that he manages to hit all the actions on time with all the lines that he's made for this particular variation of the cups and balls. And he's not afraid to deviate from that to make little jokes with the audience, depending on what they say. So watching this is very interesting because you get to see all those beats being hit on time. And it's a great lesson to be learned if you are more theater inclined.
But I liked it. Problem being, when you grow up, well, you don't really mean to, it just happens. And when you grow up, they don't let you use those cheesy plastic cups and balls anymore. Not if you're a magician. You have to use the fancy schmancy metal cups. Oh, and you can't get them at a joke store. You get them from a magic shop. Oh, and you need one other thing. An official magic wand. Not sure what the wand's all about. I think it has something to do with the balls. 1, 2, 3 little white balls. Thank you.
And now begins what is a standard cups and balls routine, but taken and turned on his end by David Regal and his wonderful personality. And he gets a freebie for the beginning production by just having the balls in the cups and turning them over, not really drawing any attention to it, but the implication is that they're empty, and yet he manages to get a free production out of that without resorting to the standard cups and balls moves where you introduce with a single ball and then you end up producing 2 more balls. It's a nice fun way of getting into a cups and balls routine without much effort and a nice sort of visual opening to it.
Now, Tony, if you've ever seen someone do the cups and balls trick, you know there's something very odd about the little ball. When it gets near the wand, strange things happen.
Patience is a virtue, my friends, and here you get to see that perfectly with that misdirection production of that ball on top of the cup. Max Malini said it best when I believe talking about his side steal. He was asked how long does he wait until he actually carries off with the important part of the movement, and he said, I wait as long as it takes. I just wait. And in this case, David Regal patiently waits until everybody notices that the ball is right back on the cup.
It's almost like there's a symbiotic relationship between the cups, the balls, and the wand, which is why magicians use them all alike. You've seen them do it. You know, a little wave, boop, the ball goes away. Sometimes, though, they get serious on you and they hypnotize the ball. You've seen this. Frankly, I never understood that myself. A little wave and boop, the ball goes away. Once I saw an older man, he put the ball in one hand, the wand in another, did one of these. I think they called him the educator. A little wave, boop, the ball goes away. Of course, it doesn't really go away. They always end up under the cups. Thank you. Yeah.
And here's a very familiar sequence to any budding virgin using, I believe, what's called the gallop move, where you are just making each ball disappear one at a time, and then they reappear underneath each cup. Now, you are getting a lot more than what you are doing in terms of sleight of hand. You're getting a lot more bargain for your buck here, because all you're doing is technically making each ball vanish one at a time. You're loading the cup, in this case, as you lift it to the other hand, and that's pretty much it. But you get the credit for making 3 balls disappear and 3 individual balls reappear underneath the cup. So I think it's a wonderful sequence, not too difficult to do, and I believe taken directly from what he calls the educator's variation on the cups and balls.
Now, certain things about the cups and balls I didn't understand. Maybe you could help me. I didn't understand how you could snap here, that disappear from the end cups, all show up in the middle. I also didn't understand how the little balls could read the human mind. You heard me. Read the human brain. My left, center, my right. Think of one of the cups. It's done. Which were you thinking of?
I'm thinking of this cup.
Interesting, because the ball went from here over to the cup you were thinking of. Yeah.
Absolutely no difference in this variation of the cups and balls in terms of sleight of hand and the original by Di Vernon. You see that he does all the sequences, all the balls end up in the middle. Then he does the bit where he is apparently going to take the ball, and Di Vernon's variation, he pretends to place the ball invisibly on his wand and move it between the cups. Here, David Regal gets credit for doing what is essentially a mentalism routine without ever doing a mentalism routine, because it doesn't matter which cup they name, you're going to be able to show it to have traveled to the corresponding cups.
It's just weird. I know what you're thinking. What if you thought of the other cup? I'd have to snap, show you it leaves here, shows up in the other cup. The balls like working together.
Very well done.
Thank you. This begs the question, can you do a cups and balls routine if you take away one of the balls? Well, sure, because you still have plenty to work with. What if you take away another ball? No longer doing the cups and balls trick. No, you're doing the trick called the cups and ball trick. Take away the last one, you get a problem. You snap over here, this one comes back. We don't know why. It just does. Snap over here, the same thing happens. Snap over here, you give it a snap. Woo! I snapped and then you snapped.
I snapped.
It's a double snap. Could be a problem. Could be a big problem. But the cups and balls are a trick that grow on you.
It's almost mental masturbation to end the cups and balls with a load. I think it'd be more interesting if a magician were to end a cups and balls without a bigger load or without bigger balls and just ends it on that final routine. It'd be funny to do it, but the whole cups and balls is essentially designed for that last phase. That's really where you get them. Obviously, you've had a lot of moments of magic throughout, but where you get them is with those big fucking balls or the potato that comes from nowhere, usually potatoes or lemons or some other vegetable. It's always weird that magicians tend to carry those on them, and the implication being that you've had a potato in your pocket to load surreptitiously under the cup. But alas, it is tradition. As is the PigCake Magic Academy, the home of over 1,500 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff, everything you need to become the best magician you could possibly be, all for the low, low price of a single White Claw a month. And I'm always uploading new content. I upload new content every single week, so it's not just 1,500 videos. As a matter of fact, this list is outdated by a good margin. You're getting more videos than you could actually ever handle, so check it out.
It's a double snap. Could be a problem. Could be a big problem. But the cups and balls are a trick that grow on you. Thank you. Oh, wait. I didn't tell you the best part. No matter how many times I perform the cups and balls, and no matter how much pleasure it gives me, it never gives me more pleasure than when I was a boy with one. 2,
Wow.
3 plastic cups. Oh, and 3 balls. That's 1, 2, 3 balls. That's the cups and balls.
I love callbacks. I love kickback routines. I love this sort of ending when it comes to coming full circle from how you began. In this case, he began by having the beginner's version of the cups and balls, those kids' cups and those balls, and he ends it with having those kids' cups. And it's a nice way to make your routine full circle, and the audience knows this is the end. It's not any sort of confusion. There's not any sort of question as to what is the emphasis on the trick. And when it comes to cups and balls, it's really an exercise in how the fuck you could fool them with that last load. That's kind of what it is. I know you have all these things in between, but at the end of the day, that's what they're going to remember. They're going to remember the potato. So might as well make that memorable. Make it something that's going to be over the top and crazy. My favorite one is Johnny Ace Palmer, where he literally produces chickens, live chickens. PETA won't like it, but I love it because fuck PETA. They kill more animals than they help.
I see you again, when 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 I see